going through a dark time, just think, okay, what can I do to help my body right now? Because if your body is okay, then your mind is gonna follow suit. Hey guys, it's Katrena. Welcome to my channel. I have no idea how this video is gonna go. I really didn't even want to make a video this week because I've been feeling pretty down, and I really don't like to be fake. I really don't like to be disingenuous. That's why you'll kind of notice, like, on my Instagram, if I haven't posted in a while, like regular posts, it's probably because I'm going through something or just too busy. But like in my stories, I'll try to keep like up to date there, because I feel like if you're going through a hard time, you can still smile and you can still have good days. Like the other day I just posted, you know, me dancing in slow motion, as I like to do sometimes. I just feel like it's dramatic and cinematic. But you know, you can still like dance through chaos and you can still smile, and doesn't, like, just because you're going through a hard time doesn't mean you need to like sit and be miserable, though I'm sure I could if I wanted to. I even brought out my comfy chair today because I need to feel like I'm being hugged, because there's just a lot going on in my personal life right now. There's a lot of areas of my life right now that feel very shaky and have completely changed. I feel like I've been stripped of everything that I once was, and am now like navigating this whole new self, which is good, but it's scary as someone who's like very much a creature of habit. I'm not in the same house I was. I don't have the same family situation that I had. Like, I don't have my girlfriend anymore. Like, all of these things is just a lot. And then you have a day like yesterday where I lost my car keys. They fell out of my pocket that I thought was zipped on a 2-mile run, and I went and traced it back and they were gone. It's just like, God, why is all this stuff happening? Like, haven't you taken enough? I like can't take any more loss. I really can't. And so I'm just feeling down. So I thought maybe let me show you that and just be real with you guys and make a video to maybe help you guys if, like, I'm not gonna cry. Sorry, I just feel a lot right now. Maybe help you guys if you guys are going through something. So that's why I wanted to talk about how to get through a dark time and kind of use my personal experience too to like talk about the signs that maybe you might be going through a dark time. Number one is this line that I got, funnily enough, from a Frozen film, the second film. There's a song called The Next Right Thing, and it's so beautiful, and Disney really was onto something there. The song talks about, like, okay, if I feel like I can't move right now, I feel like I can't even breathe or hold myself together, and I want to give up, but what is the next right thing that I can do? Okay, maybe I can't like call a friend right now. I can sit up in bed. I can do that. I can walk and I can go get a glass of water. I can do that. And so it's really helped me when I have those times where I literally am bawling and I feel like I am holding myself together. What's the next right thing I can do? It just really helps to have that mantra, because rather than focusing on all the things you feel like you can't do, just focus on the one thing that you feel you can do. And that's changed so much for me. And I'm really grateful for that song and for that concept. And I feel like that concept could save a lot of lives, because when you're in the middle of feeling all these emotions and all this negativity and darkness, it's really hard to rationalize and like see outside of it. And sometimes it takes like one little thing to just like keep you going, you know, and thinking about doing the next right thing is, I think, brilliant. Number two, I'm laughing because the other night I literally had to do this. It's not even funny. So number two is YouTube it. If you're in a space where you've gotten so hurt and you're so sad you feel like you can't even talk to anybody, and you're in the middle of the night just thinking, what is wrong with me? Why can't I stop thinking about this? Like, am I a crazy person? YouTubing it is gonna help you feel a lot more human, and it's gonna help you to recognize like, oh, you're not the only one. For example, let's give a hypothetical situation. Me at 11:37 p.m. YouTubing, why do I fall in love so easily? And then like all these videos come up, right? And then I watch them and I'm like, oh, that's why. That explains it. And I feel more compassionate for myself, and it's gonna be okay. Literally, I found this Russell Brand video that I'll post. Russell Brand? Sorry. Anyways, I watched the video, got emotionally attached to him now. Now he's pretty much my dad. He doesn't even know. We're working on it. We're working on slowing things down. But like, he helped me so much just listening to him talk, and it's so crazy. I'm like, dang, I wish I had thought about YouTubing this before, because I was wondering for days what the heck was wrong with me. Why I can't just be a normal human being and like get over things. And had I gotten to that video sooner, I would have been like, oh, that's why. All is well with the world, and you're not alone. It's always gonna feel worse in here. Get outside of yourself, listen to somebody else talk about it, listen to how other people have dealt with it. It's like such a breath of relief. I feel like there's nothing that I'm about to go into a double negative. How do I say this sentence? There is nothing that you could think that hasn't been thought of before. The internet has it all. It's a magical place. Number 3, this is a good one because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but at night, emotions are intensified. And like, I'll always wake up the next day thinking, wow, last night felt like the end of the world, like in my heart and in my head and in my body. And then you make it to the next day and you realize, I feel better today. And there's a reason for that. It's because the amygdala, my favorite part of the brain that's responsible for emotions, it is very sensitive like at night. And so emotions are heightened because like it's scientific. It's prone to happen at night, especially if you're not getting enough sleep, if you've been restless. There's a big link between our mood and our sleep, or lack thereof. I don't know about you, but it always helps me when I'm feeling like a weirdo to recognize that there's science behind my feelings and emotions. If I haven't been sleeping well, then it's no wonder watching a penguin jump into the water made me cry, because I'm so sensitive, because like my body isn't getting the sleep that it needs. I like to have that, as emotional as a being as I am, I like to have that logical reason, because it helps me to feel more like, okay, it makes sense. It's like math. 1 + 1 = 2. 1 - 1 = 0. And it's such a double-edged sword, because like when I'm going through a tough time and I'm feeling really sad, it really sits in my body and it sits in my gut and it keeps me up at night. So then it's like, I need the sleep to help me feel better, but because I don't feel good, I'm not getting the sleep, and it's like a vicious cycle. You just need to find what can work for you. So like for me, it's either like talk it out with a friend if they're up, watch an ASMR video, watch something silly like 90210, and just forcing myself to like stop thinking, stop holding on to this, try to get some sleep now. And then in the morning, once you've woken up, it's gonna feel like you can handle it a lot better. Remember that the sun always comes up, and as intense as things may get at night, remind yourself it's not gonna feel like this tomorrow. It just needs to get to the next day, you know? Okay, number 4, and one of my favorite things to do is just talk it out with a good friend when you're going through something dark. It really stinks to like be in that dark cave alone. I bet you there are plenty of people that are willing to grab their little lantern and come to that cave with you and help to give you some light in the darkness. And an outside perspective is just so fresh. It all feels so heavy when you're like in it, in your own head, in your own mind, and it feels so lonely. But to hear someone else's take, it just makes all the difference. And then lastly, number 5, remember that every move you make will either help or hinder your mental health. So yeah, there are going to be times where you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to eat. I'm one of those, like, where if I'm sad, and I hope this doesn't trigger anyone if you're going to be triggered by this, whether you're triggered by people not eating or eating too much, maybe mute this part for a second, and when you see me give you a thumbs up, that'll mean that I'm done talking about it. When I'm sad, I have like no appetite, and that also takes a big dig into your mental health if you're not giving your body the nutrition that it needs. So like, I literally sometimes have to use food as like, okay, this is medicine, like we gotta get it in because it's gonna help the mood, like eat for a while to bring back that smile, you know? But also sleep, like we talked about, getting enough to drink water wise, that makes all the difference. So like all of these little things, if you're going through a dark time, just think, okay, what can I do to help my body right now? Because if your body is okay, then your mind is gonna follow suit. Also, just the little things like taking a deep breath, maybe, you know, getting some fresh air outside, whatever you can do to ground yourself. Use mindfulness practices, bring yourself to the present, because in the present moment, fear can't really exist if you think about it. Because if you're being completely present, anxiety and all these worries about yesterday or tomorrow, they can't work if you're fully present. So that's really cool. And use that if you're ever like about to be in an anxiety attack or in a panic attack. Can I just say, I have this pet peeve, okay? When people are like, oh my gosh, like I had a panic attack because like I was crying and like they didn't blah blah blah. Don't throw around the term like panic attack and anxiety attack so loosely. Make sure that you're like looking at the symptoms of a panic attack versus an anxiety attack and get that straight. Because not every like bout of emotion and being scared is a panic attack. And it is serious if you're having one and it's scary. Some signs that you may be going through a dark time. You don't want to part ways with your bed. You might be having trouble responding to people in a timely manner. That is a big one for me. Like I'll legitimately take like 9 to 12 days to respond to people. And I'm like, every day, why aren't you responding? Why aren't you responding? It's because you're going through a dark time. And I apologize if I haven't, like, if you've messaged me and I take forever to respond to you. I'm working on it. It's something that's developed since 2020 and it's gotten really bad. So please have patience with me and forgive me. You put off simple tasks and it's so easy to do, like the little things that are so easy and you're like, why don't you do it? You're probably going through a dark time and it feels like doing one more thing is just gonna overwhelm your system. It's like mosquito bites. If you have one, it's not a big deal. You can shake it off. But if you have 30 on your arm and you get one more, that one extra is so painful on top of 30 versus one on top of none. Make sense? You might be using a mask to help you not feel like some people mask with weed, some people mask with alcohol. I mask with TV and binge watching things. Maybe you're not feeling the things that you used to love. I'm not someone who's prone to depression, but just in the last couple years, a lot of stuff has gone on in my personal life, and then plus in the pandemic, I don't know a single person that hasn't been going through a lot of stuff. You might start to withdraw from people and isolate yourself. I'm the opposite. If I start reaching out to a bunch of people all the time because I feel like I need someone to talk to or I need someone's presence, that's probably a sign because I'm not like okay on my own. Or the opposite, you withdraw because you're not feeling okay and you just don't want to present anything but your best to people. That's basically what I wanted to talk about today. Sometimes you gotta force yourself to do the things that you've been putting off just for the sake of your well-being, and today me doing this video is one of those things. I'm sorry it's not very entertaining or fun or energetic, but again, I would be doing you guys a huge disservice if I'm just gonna come here and smile every time and pretend like everything's okay and be fake. And I would hate for someone to be comparing their life to mine, thinking like, oh wow, nothing ever goes wrong with her. Like, I wish I could be like that, honey. No, I cry almost every day. Okay, not every day. If you've gotten to this point, I thank you so much for listening to me and listening to the advice that I want to give and listening to my vent session here. If you're going through something rough, like, reach out to me, reach out to whoever you can. I will definitely try my best to get back to you, especially in the comments. Don't give up on hope. Life is crazy and we humans are nothing if not adaptable. I hope that you're having a great time wherever you may be. If you're not having a great time, that's okay too. You will eventually. And I hope that you'll see me again in another video soon.